This is Emma from Bousnic. In this video, I am going to introduce you our new model, Bousnic shock collar for 2 dogs. Let's see what's included in this box. A user manual. Please read it carefully and keep it handy for future reference. 2 collars with different colors. 1 remote. 2 sets of contact points with silicone covers. 2 spring sheets. 1 test lamp. A 2-interface charging cable. This allows you to charge the collar and the remote at the same time, or charge 2 collars simultaneously. Very convenient. There is no adapter in this box, but you can charge it with your own phone adapter, or the power bank, or the USB outlet of your computer or your car. Very, very convenient. Let's see the receivers. Compared with other models, this receiver is thinner, smaller, and also more lightweight. As you can see, the collar strap is soft and durable. It's adjustable from 6 to 27 inches. You can adjust the collar length by changing the position of this buckle. Just slide it to the position, and then loop the strap through the buckle. The maximum length of this collar is 27 inches. The minimum length of this collar is 6 inches. Now, let's see how to prepare the collar. The spring sheets and the contact points are both used to make the shock mode more effective. If you don't use the shock mode, then you don't need to install the contact points or the spring sheet. You can use the collar just like this. If you use the shock mode and your dog has short or thin hair, then you can install the contact points and the silicone covers. Put the contact points here. Please use the test lamp to tighten the contact points as tight as you can. And then push the silicone covers hard till there is no empty space between the top of the contact points and the top of the caps. This way, they will not fall off easily. If your dog has long hair or thick hair, then you may use the spring sheet and the contact points at the same time. First, put the spring sheet here. Then install the contact points. Use the test lamp to tighten as tight as you can. Push the silicone covers hard. Okay. Sometimes you may want to adjust the shape of the spring sheet to fit your dog's neck. But as you can see, the spring sheet is very thin. To avoid breaking easily, we sincerely suggest you to loosen the contact points a little, then bend the top part carefully, like this. Loosen it a little. Then bend the top part carefully. Okay. Now let's see the remote. As you can see, covered with silicone and equipped with a large LED screen. This remote looks sleek and fashionable. This is the on-off button. You can long press it to turn it on and to turn it off. This button can also be used as a security lock button. When you don't use it, you can turn it off to avoid beeping, vibrating, or shocking your dog by accident. This is the up and down lever buttons. You can use it to adjust the shock levels. The shock level changes from 1 to 16, and 1 is the lowest level, while 16 is the highest level. We sincerely suggest you always use the shock mode as the last resource, and please always start from the lowest level and then work your way up. This is the switch channel button. You can use it to choose the channel. This is the beep button, the vibrate button, and the shock button. Now let's see how to pair the remote with the receiver. When you first received them, they are already paired. Channel 1. Channel 2. But in case they are not paired or they have lost connection, you can follow the steps below for pairing. First, use the on-off button to turn on the remote. Then choose the channel. Long press the on-off button on the receiver to turn the receiver off. Next, long press the on-off button on the receiver to turn on the receiver, and until the red light and the green light blink in turn. Okay, press the beep button and the vibration button at the same time. The green light blinks quickly. Then press the beep button or the vibration button to check if they are successfully paired. If you want to pair another receiver to channel 2, just repeat the steps above. Those collars are IPX7, 100% waterproof. Even submerged in water, it will work normally. See? Channel 2. Okay. So please feel safe to let your dog swim in the pool or in the river. But this remote is not waterproof, so please keep it away from water.
For a dog trainer, an e-collar is just another tool that we can use in our program. It's going to take the place of the leash, and we will start to substitute using the e-collar in the leash's place. This cannot be used to teach while we're working with the dog. They need to be taught prior to applying the e-collar. Once they've learned their skills and they're comfortably doing their skills, then we can use this in place of the leash. When you first take your collars out of the box and your transmitter out of the box, you want to charge them. Put them on the charger for 2 hours. They'll go to a full charge in that length of time, be ready to use. You'll know that when they need to be recharged, the light on your receiver will be blinking red, and the light on your transmitter when you press the button will be red instead of green. If you've got a green light here and a green light here, you got plenty of battery life. If you've got a red light that's blinking and you got a red light here, that means you can train a little bit longer, but you're going to need to get this thing on a charger pretty quickly. Okay, to turn the unit on, we're going to turn the receiver on. It has a on-off button on top of the receiver. You're going to press that button and the green light will start to blink, saying that it is on. The transmitter does not have an on-off button. It is on demand. When you press a button, any of the 3 buttons that are on it, it's on, but when you release the button, it's off. So therefore, you don't have to turn this on and off. As soon as you turn this on, you want to send it a signal from the transmitter just to make sure that they're synced up. I'm pressing the continuous button right now, and you see a continuous red light here. That means that they are paired and they're ready to go. As you start to introduce your dog to the e-collar, one of the first things you want to do is put it on the dog. And tension and tightness here is very important. There's multiple ways to do this. My rule of thumb is I pull it to a specific hole on the collar strap where it's very tight, and I back out 1 hole. That allows you to get a finger underneath it, that you can get a finger under the collar, then you know it's not too tight, it's not strangling him. Once that is done, then it's time to do something fun. So immediately after you put your e-collar on your dog, it's time now to throw a tennis ball or throw a bumper and make him start to believe that when this goes on, we get to do something fun. So he looks forward to you putting an e-collar on. It is his uniform to get to go play in the game. So how do we get a dog to understand that this is nothing more than a leash? In our training, as we start to teach this dog, we're going to be applying leash pressure with our leash on his neck. That's where the leash will contact him. As we use the e-collar, it's going to be contacting the dog at the exact same spot, same location. So now each time that we give a tug on the leash, we're going to give a light bump with a transmitter to send the signal to the e-collar to give the dog the stimulation. It's just a light tap. Each time that we use a tug on the leash, we're going to tap him with the collar. And before too long, in his mind, these two are the leash and the e-collar are the exact same thing. There is no difference between them. Now with that, you need to be careful. Probably the first 2 weeks, we're going to have a min-max rule. No more than 5 stimulations per session, so that you can avoid overstimulating the dog and having him start to worry about this. But get at least 3 stimulations in so that he can start to learn the lesson we're trying to teach him, is that this and our leash are the exact same thing. As you start to stimulate your dog, you're going to use low levels of stimulation. And what we're looking for is a reaction from the dog. It could be him to stop and turn his head and look at you. What I typically look for is a little bit of head drop and a swallow response out of the dog. If you look closely, most of the time when you see that, they're saying, I understand, I accept, I know I've done something incorrect here. Once we see that response, then we're going to start to think about that level on our intensity and stay in that level. Anytime that you see your dog vocalizing, you're out of bounds and you need to turn that wheel down. Rule of thumb here though is to always use the minimum amount of pressure necessary to get the dog to respond and to stop what his instincts are trying to tell him to do. Used properly, this is much easier on the dog than a regular leash is, because it's less contact, it's less intensity. But they've just been conditioned through training to understand they have to stop when they feel this. It's the word no to them. It tells them to stop their actions.
When I first got Sandy, she was an absolute nightmare. She wouldn't behave, she would dig holes in the yard, she would scratch at the furniture, she would bark all the time, just unruly. So I had a friend who was a dog trainer, and she suggested an e-collar. I was like, e-collar, isn't that not humane? Or I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, but I decided to give it a try. I purchased the PetSpy e-collar, and voila, Sandy's been a new dog. So I started the e-collar training, and gradually I started to see changes and improvements in the way her behavior was. I couldn't believe how fast Sandy started to change and respond to the training. Feel great. It made me feel great that I didn't have an uncontrollable dog in public and I wasn't embarrassed to bring her in places.